Welcome back to First Things First. We're now joined by NBA champ Antoine Walker. Antoine made wrinkles in the water yesterday when he said Boston might be the place for LeBron to land. What?
Yes.
I still believe it.
Nick
People
was
were calling
thinking
me.
it all night.
It was great.
Antoine Walker got with you yesterday. I was like, what?
It was great.
I still believe it now.
All right.
Fun conversation.
It was. All right, let's keep that conversation going. Cleveland at Golden State getting ready for game one tonight. LeBron James knows he's got his work cut out for the Cavs in this one, mainly because LeBron James, well, is the Cavs. Chris Paul and the Rockets will be watching and not playing after getting bounced by Golden State, but he's still working. CP3 has already reportedly begun recruiting LeBron James to the Rockets in free agency, Antoine. Who do you think? Would LeBron joining the Rockets be any different than, say, Kevin Durant joining the Warriors?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think it's two different situations.
Okay.
When you look at Houston's roster and what he'll be joining, it's not a very good roster when you think Clint Capella is going to be gone. Trevor Reeves is not going to be on the roster. So Gerald Green, another guy who played big minutes for them. So they would have to fill a void. I think people got to understand when LeBron James made that move to the Miami Heat, it took them a whole year to figure out what roster and what guys to play with them. Then
Complimentary players.
and then eventually Mario Chalmers, Norris Cole, Shane Battier, Ray Allen, Chris Anderson. They started adding pieces around those three guys. But I don't think necessarily this is a great move for LeBron because if you look at how they play, James Harden, Chris Paul, and LeBron, it's just not a good mix. Where Kevin Durant, where he fit right in with Steph Curry because they moved the ball. They were a team that get 25, 30 assists a game. They needed a guy who can close the game out. They didn't have to depend. They were really dependent on the three-point shot every game with Clay and Steph to get hot. Kevin Durant's a guy who can score from anywhere on the floor. So he gave them a versatility that they didn't have. I just think with Houston, LeBron going there, all those guys need the ball in their hand to be effective. James Harden has never been a guy that can spot up and shoot. Chris Paul improved his three-point shooting this year, but he still needs the ball in his hand. And LeBron is not deferring to anybody. Okay, and nobody in this league, he's going to have the ball in his hand.
Yeah, so I'm with you on that. I don't believe it's the best fit. I believe Chris Paul is doing the best thing to try to get him a championship. He would have loved to have LeBron in a 7-game series.
So is that safe to say he's already going back to Houston? The deal already done?
Oh, I think that deal's done.
Yeah, I think they did one of them NBA wink type stuff.
He turned down a big extension from the Clippers to agree to the trade to the Rockets. You don't do that unless, and you're not really supposed to do this, unless the Houston said, hey, we got you. Like, we'll take care of it. So, yeah. I think Chris Paul's back.
Yeah, and LeBron, that's his guy. Like, this is, it's not like they're trying to establish a relationship. It's like him and Dwayne Wade. They had an existing relationship. I believe there's other better fits for LeBron. I believe going to Philadelphia, or I believe in even a total startup with the L.A. Lakers, because I believe that Paul George can go there. I believe that LeBron. I don't know if Popovich is going to trade Kawhi to the Lakers or trade him in the West.
Anywhere in the West.
Yeah, so I believe that Pop kind of holds that card right there. Also, that max deal. How do you turn down a max deal? But Houston, I don't believe is the best fit for LeBron because a lot of these players, how good is Chris Paul off the ball? That was our biggest question this year. Now, you're going to bring another ball handler? I believe LeBron's the only one that can play off the ball and still be a superstar.
And Antoine's saying he wouldn't do that. So, like, I know LeBron.
Well, they're totally deferring to it. I believe that he's the only one capable of doing that. You talked about Harden as a spot-up shooter. LeBron is not a great spot-up shooter. If you look at his three-point percentage, I'm going to get Dusty to do the numbers. How much better is he when he takes a dribble or two? He likes those diagonal threes, and he likes to put it on the ground a couple times before he raises up. So those three right there being three ball handlers, and you mentioned Kevin Durant. Clay is a spot-up shooter. Steph can move without the ball and dribbles the ball. What KD does is that third part of it.
It was a great complementary skill set. It was great. We can argue about the fit of LeBron to the Rockets. But one thing, I want to directly answer Jenna's question. Would this be the same as Kevin Durant joining the Warriors?
And when you say in the eyes of fans?
In the eyes, how about this? Here's what I care about. In the eyes of reality.
Okay.
Absolutely, unequivocally not. The Rockets win a championship last year, this year, anytime in the last 20 years? No. The Rockets have a 73-win team? No. Did the Rockets knock LeBron out of the playoffs when he was about to win a championship?
Up 3-1.
No. So when people say, oh, well, fine, but LeBron going to Miami was the same. No, if LeBron had joined Boston If Boston, who had won a title and was the reason he couldn't get to the NBA Finals, if he had joined those Hall of Famers in Boston, that would have been similar to what, and I'm talking about with the first decision, to what KD did. Like, LeBron joining the Rockets, yes, he'd be joining an MVP, but it wouldn't be a team that's already won a championship, the overwhelming dominant team in the league, and your biggest rival. Like, those are apples and bowling balls. They're not comparable.
And also, Nick, you got to think about this, and I agree with you on that. But the problem is you have to think about LeBron James, first of all. Him going to Houston is totally different when KD went there. When he goes to Houston, he's actually putting on that team where when he went to Miami, he tried to get guys to come to Cleveland. And people don't understand that.
Yes.
He actually tried to get guys to come to Cleveland and say, hey, come play with me. Nobody want to live in Cleveland. I'm going to just keep it real.
Right.
In free agency, if I got a choice to go to Miami or Cleveland, I'm going to Miami. That's just how guys think. Guys want a little nightlife when they go play in the city. So they want to be able to go to a nice restaurant.
Yes.
Want to step out.
Nice weather, too.
Yeah, Cleveland don't offer that. So LeBron James was kind of stuck. So he went to a situation where Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, he can get in with those guys. But I also saw a clip yesterday where they talked about winning 7, 8 titles. You know, you go to Houston, is James Harden really trying to win a title? I mean, we know he wants to get there. Is that a main objective if it is to win a title? Chris Paul, yes.
What do you think his main objective is? The numbers, the accolades?
Well, I think when you don't make the adjustments that he needed to make in this year's playoffs, after going what he went through last year, I don't necessarily know if he's that concerned. I listened to his press conference afterwards, and not saying he has to be on TV crying and boo-hooing, but it just seemed like a level of, like, I'm disappointed.
Sure.
And I'm sure he may have went home and been very disappointed around his family and friends, but it just didn't seem right to me, because when you shoot 27 threes and miss them, and you're the best player on the floor, supposed to be one of the best players on the floor, and you don't change that, I just think you're not really making that conscious effort to be a champion.
So that's a hell of a statement about James Harden, who's going to win the league MVP this year. And I think a lot of people share the sentiment, which is, for some reason, there is a part of Harden that people have questioned is, how important is this to him? I don't think you can get as good as he is at the difficult parts of basketball without it being incredibly important to you.
No. There's a lot of athletes out there. They're into the benefits of them being good compared to being on a team that's great.
But here's the thing.
So I believe you can work hard because of the individual benefits you're going to have.
Right, but he got the biggest individual benefit you can get, which is the Supermax contract. And after that, embraced Chris Paul. After that, embraced the things that led.
Well, he had no chance to win in the West.
Right, but I'm saying that's to my point, which is I do think winning's important to James Harden. Now,
winning on the championship level, there's different levels of winning. How much are you willing to sacrifice? And guys, and what he's saying is the people he's been around, the superstars that he's been around, he's seen more of a sacrifice in what they're doing and in their game development to try to get that. He hadn't seen that with Harden. That's why he puts it in the question.
Think about it. You believe those guys are going to all take a back seat? Dwayne Wade was a great, Robin. And then Chris Bosh was efficient with 10, 11, 12 shots. Can Chris Paul be efficient with 12 shots? Can James Harden be efficient with 12 shots? We don't know. You look at the big three that they put together in OKC. All three of those guys are going to be Hall of Famers. They were a disappointment, OKC. There's no way you put those three guys on paper. If you say these three guys are going to be together, you think a championship. Westbrook almost won many games by himself the year before by himself. And you bring those guys on the team. So it's a lot of guys' mentality. We can always say fit does matter. And mindset does matter. LeBron James has to go to a place where other guys want to win championships, understand his legacy, and want to be on that same wavelength. And everybody in the league is not on that.
All right, Antoine, thanks. We're going to see you a little bit later in the show. We'll take a break. On the other side, look who's joining us. NASCAR's rising superstar, Bubba Wallace, is on set.
How you doing?
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you.
Man, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Good. We're fans.
How are you? Great to see you. Welcome. Congratulations.